Hello, everybody. I just wanted to pop on and say hello today. I've been doing a lot of thinking about leadership in early childhood education, and I wanted to share some thoughts with you guys. And by the way, if it's your first time joining me or if you're new to my group, my name is Evelyn Knight. I am the host of the podcast, The Childcare Business Coach, which you can find on all major platforms. I'm the owner of Childcare Business Professionals, which is a company that helps childcare business owners and directors find success and learn how to run a business. Most of us in early childhood education do not have any formal kind of business training. We were moms or teachers. I know I was there, and we really just don't know how to run a business. And our centers are business. We don't like to think of them that way a lot of times, but they really are. So my goal is to help you learn how to run your center as a business, treat it as a business, and have high quality standards that are best practices for the children. I also am a child care owner. I own a center and I'm there, at least a few days a week. I've been a director and have done pretty much every job in between. So, like I said, I've just been doing a lot of thinking because one of the things I'm really noticing is a lot of you are tired. There's just this huge sense of fatigue out there, and everybody just seems really exhausted. I mean, there's just so much going on in our world right now, and it is, you guys, just the whole world. I want to tell you, I know a lot of times we get so focused on what's happening around us, our cities, our counties, and we get so focused on, like, if you're in the United States, on what's going on here, right? But I've heard from a couple of different people in the last 2 weeks that are from all around the world. I've heard from people in Australia. Last week, I heard from somebody in Australia. I've heard from people in the Dominican Republic, from Brazil. And one of the things I'm noticing is the struggles we're having are all the same, but it's just this heavy, heavy feeling, and everybody is getting exhausted. So it really got me thinking about being a leader. When we decided to be directors and owners, we all decided to become leaders in the early childhood field, right? But none of us expected to lead through something like this, what we're seeing happening in the world today, the effects that we're really seeing rippling around the world. But we still need to lead, no matter what happens. There's always a disaster happening somewhere. The only difference this time is that we're all in it together, which is pretty rare. It doesn't happen very often, but it's pretty rare. And we're all in this together. So it feels so much bigger and heavier. And there's this just sense of fatigue that's just everywhere. So a couple things I want you guys to think about and just keep in mind is that you're not alone. None of us are alone. This is a really hard time. It's not regional. It's not just your city, your county, your state, or even your nation. This is worldwide. And that really hit me in the last 2 weeks, getting messages from people all over the world. It really hit me. And it made me feel blessed because there's so much happening here in the United States. And even though it doesn't feel like it, we are getting so much more help than a lot of people around the world are getting. I've heard from ECE leaders that are just completely hopeless around. And I'll tell you, the policies they're telling me about in their nations, there's just no help for ECE at all. They're not even allowed to charge right now. They're not allowed to get any kind of help. There's no grants available, nothing. And they're not even allowed to just even try to get help. So it made me grateful that there are opportunities out there for us. Is it slim? Yes. For some of you, I know it's really, really slim, but there is a bright side, right? There's always a bright side somewhere. So kind of think about that. The other thing it really got me thinking about is how much character building I see happening. And I just was actually joking with a couple owners earlier today and leaders. There were some directors. I was in a meeting with directors and owners, and we were laughing about how becoming a center director, usually we're a center director first and then become an owner or whatever, whether you're an owner or director, it is such a huge character building experience, right? Just going into business altogether, becoming any kind of a leader and leading a team is really just all the way around. It is a character building experience. We can gain so much from it. So embrace the time. take what you can and learn to make yourself better from this. There's always a way to make yourself better. Learn the lessons. Don't get so caught up within yourself, feeling sorry for yourself or just kind of feeling alone even. I know sometimes I fall into the trap where it's just like, why does all this happen to me? Everything bad seems to happen to me. And I get caught in my own little world and I forget that I'm not alone. I mean, there's people experiencing things all over the place. And we all have our unique experiences, right? We all have our unique struggles, and it does sometimes feel like the world is just overwhelming and it's us. But there are plenty of other people out there who are alongside with you. So, just it helps me to know that. And it helps me to just focus on where can I build character right now when I am trying to figure out, if this does last, let's say, for another year, which I know for me, I like to plan for the worst, hope for the best. So when I'm sitting down and making these plans, it just kind of freaks me out a little bit. But then I just kind of tell myself, like, how am I building character through this? And how is this making me a better leader in the long run? How in a year from now am I going to be able to look back on all that we've went through, and what are those things that I will thank myself for? And if you've been watching me for a while and listening to me, it's something I always come back to, right? I always tell you, I actually suggest that you write yourself a letter and thanking yourself for being the person you want to be in a year, and for doing the things that you can do. So that's just something I really always focus, and I ask myself, like, a year from now, what will I thank myself for doing? What decisions do I need to make right now so that a year from now I can be proud of myself and I'm not going to be facing a huge mountain? I'm not making things worse for myself. So kind of think about that. Like, when you're going into these tough meetings, tough decisions, when you have to write those tough emails to your staff or to parents, or just having those confrontational issues, or if you're just, even if it's something as little as dealing with drop off and pickup, because God knows right now, drop off and pickup, it's so hard right now. Just the curbside drop off and pickup is so hard, right? It puts such a strain on our businesses and just functioning. So even if it's something just as little as that, just do it with a smile and remind yourself that, maybe it's that family you retain because you did it with a smile. Maybe more families come to you. Maybe that's a way that you increase enrollment, because other families say, yeah, she was doing this and she always had a smile on her face. She was always happy, kind, warm. My children always felt like they were loved. And so now you're getting all these referrals, right? So think of ways, always try to find a way to spin what's going on, what you need to do, into a positive for yourself. That way, in a year, when you make these decisions and you do these things, you can thank yourself and be proud of yourself for doing the things you knew you could do. Because we can. It's in all of us to do it. So that's all I have for you guys today. Tomorrow, I will be jumping on at 4 p.m. with more of useful information, not just mentally focusing, but I think it's really important for our mindset to stay in the right place. So I just really wanted to share that with you today, since I've been just getting more and more messages from people that just really helps me to see that there's just a lot of fatigue out there right now. So just wanted to do a really quick mindset check with you guys, and I hope that was helpful. I hope all of you guys have a good rest of your day, and it's almost the weekend. So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.